Welcome back. He is the political director at CBS News. So why is John Dickerson urging President Obama to go for the throat of the Republican Party? Here's his quote in Slate. Obama's only remaining option is to pulverize. Through a series of clarifying fights over controversial issues, he can force Republicans to either side with their coalition's most extreme elements or cause a rift in the party that will leave it at least temporarily in disarray. Joining us right now with reaction, Town Hall News editor and Fox News contributor Katie Pavlich. Good morning to you, Katie.
Good morning.
He also says if he wants them to, the president, to destroy the Republican Party, and he says they must, the president in the White House, they must go for the throat. Are you surprised that this member of the mainstream media, who is supposed to be unbiased, sounds like a Democratic strategist?
I'm not surprised. This is the CBS political director, who is also the chief political correspondent at Slate, which is a far left-leaning publication. John Dickerson was credited with being the guy who knocked George W. Bush off of his heels the most times during his presidency. It's not surprising to me, though, that there's a conflict of interest here. And do we remember during the election when there were reporters caught off mic before Mitt Romney made his statement? CBS News reporter her name is Jan Crawford, was one of those reporters. And so clearly there's a problem at CBS of there being bias in their reporting. But as we've seen throughout the years, this is not surprising.
So this is clearly, in your estimation, a glaring example of liberal media bias?
I think it is, and at least with Mr. Dickerson, he is honest about, in his bio that he's working for Slate and the CBS political director. But CBS
How do you do both? How do you do both?
That's the question. I mean, if CBS is going to portray themselves as a middle-of-the-road, unbiased news source, then it seems a little strange that you would have someone who's writing regularly for a far-left publication, as the political director.
Right.
And I think that we saw that with the election reporting. We've seen that in the past 4 years with the Obama administration from CBS. We've seen the result of that conflict of interest play out in the way that questions are asked.
And where he writes in Slate, the lefty blog, that you got to destroy, Mr. President, the Republican Party. I guess he just wants one party, which would essentially make it a dictatorship. But he's blaming, in the article he writes, he's blaming all the woes in Washington on those darn Republicans. I guess he's forgotten about the do-nothing Democrats in the U.S. Senate who haven't passed a budget in 3 years. I guess he forgot about the fact that the Republicans actually are now talking about voting tomorrow on extending the debt limit, so there's not a fight, and about how about a month ago they raised taxes on the rich. He's forgetting all about that. He's just trying to help Barack Obama with a successful 4 years.
Right. Well, and he makes this argument in his piece that Republicans have been the ones standing in the way of President Obama's first-term agenda. And if I recall correctly, President Obama has spent a lot of money. There haven't been a lot of spending cuts at all, in fact. President Obama got his Obamacare through. That's something the House didn't want. And the fact is that, yes, President Obama was reelected, but there were lots of House Republicans who were also reelected. And the way that the system is set up, President Obama needs Republicans to get through his second-term agenda. And on that point, Mr. Dickerson says that the only way President Obama can leave a legacy in his second term is to destroy the GOP, and I don't think that's a good way forward.
All right. You're probably right on this day after the Day of Unity. Katie, we thank you very much for joining us live today from the D.C. Bureau.